Good morning all, hope you're doing well. We've got a risk sentiment overview, the 22nd of the 6th, 2022. So the big picture risk off, as you can see, the 24-hour difference was a slight nudge towards being risk on. We are above 30 on the VIX. If we go below 30, it might be a good sign. We did make buy signals on the US 30 and the US 500 yesterday, which you should have caught if you saw the bulletin, and you should have made quite a bit of money on those moves. And I'll show you the sentiment for S&P and gold. I think we might be at the placing the bait stage. That's what that means. So they're placing the bait and they're going to pull the fishing line. This is the current what's going on right now, I think, because the movement is so subtle. They're going to probably wait for more of a move before the actual real move, if you know what I mean. So the change was so small, it's not even 1, it's a 0.07, so maybe they might wait for a more sustained move from the crowd, and then they can herd them into the trap that they're going to place. So that's just what I think is going on. They're just placing the bait or the trap, and maybe tomorrow we'll get a larger shift in, and it all depends on today, because we've got the Q&A from Powell. We had the inflation data from UK. It was not as bad as expected, which is good. And we got the CAD data, inflation data from Bank of Canada later as well. So it all depends on today, whether or not they're going to buy the dip or they're going to sell. We don't know. So we have to keep an eye on this 24-hour difference. If it's a big shift, it's going to impact the big picture. And then this could be like the extreme sentiment, and then we can bottom out on indices. So there isn't really much movement on the FXCM, which ties into this. There's not much movement on the risk. There's not much movement from the risk and the currencies. The only thing that really stands out is EJ, because it's a darkish green, and oil is a dark red. Everything else is just, not moving. So it could be just one of those days where they're going to place a trap, and they've put their fishing hook in the water, and they're going to wait for a bit of time for some more convincing moves, potentially. Dollar strengthened a lot over Asia, as you can see. We had a really strong dollar, and I expect pound should probably strengthen back on the back of that inflation data, because it wasn't as bad as feared. So we might see a little bit of pound strength, potentially. So there's the dollar back in the strong buy section. So this is the quadrant that says strong buy. This is the quadrant that says strong sell. Kiwi has gone really far. Aussie and Kiwi in the strong sell with gold, and we've got CAD, Swiss and dollar in the strong buy. Pound, euro and yen are mixed. So we might see some strength in the dollar. Well, we should, because we're in the strong buy section. They're short dollar and they're adding short. So we should go up on the dollar. CAD is strongest and Kiwi is weakest. So that's that. You can just look at that. There's this, there's metrics you want to see increase or decrease for bias. And so there's the sell for the S&P. Right there. So we did actually go below 3,700, and so that I'd be surprised to see it break below, and because if we go below, it means that they get paid. So I'd imagine if we go, it might momentarily go below, but I don't think it'll be sustained, because those guys who shorted it here, okay, they were in a big drawdown, but then they'll get paid, right? So assuming that they held on, which would be a bit reckless. But then they'll get paid if we break that level. So expecting a break of 3,700, but not a sustained move below, because otherwise, these guys will get paid, and that would be unusual. So that's the buy signal there. Hexagon, this hexagon is a potential sell. So you absolutely need to get the trading station, and so you know what they do. If they buy it, we're going to fall. If they short it, we'll go up. Okay, and it's just that simple. But you want visibility of what they do, and not having the trading station, you haven't got visibility, and so you're trading blind. Okay, so this is where you need it, and I'm going to say this every day until I see more charts being posted in the technical channel, because you guys need to do it. All right, and it's free. Okay, so get a copy and you can see what happens. So we don't know what they're going to do. They probably don't even know what they're going to do. They're just running, like, using their hunches, using their gut, and if they long or fall. Alright, so you've got to be careful. We're incredibly close for a sell signal there. Gold, but you know, they went long here, so we fell. You know, that's just what happens. It's really easy to explain, and good case for getting the train station. These are out of bonk. You want these to be gradually incline to you know, ascend, and we're not. We're inverted there, and we've got inversion. You know, so it's not too healthy. If we look at the US yields, bit of a risk off indication here. We want that higher. We want that lower. We want that a bit lower. And because these are spiking, they're going to support a stronger USD. And stop loss cluster. So largest move was EJ at 7% shift. So we've got green, green, green there. Largest stop loss cluster is AU, which is that big spike. It's below. The location is 69.05 and size is 5.02. So if you were to take the signal today, that would probably be the likely target. Okay, and the size is huge as well, so that's possibly going to be a good destination. So no signals yesterday. We've got EU and AU, but I'll do a separate video on that now. And so just enjoy your day ahead. We've got Powell later, so you've got to be careful. And just, you know, we don't really know what's going to happen here, but at least if you've got the train station, you can see, and then you can like trade accordingly and then adjust accordingly as well. So perhaps, you know, a break of 3,700. That'll be like a cement the fear, and then this SSI should come down. And if we come down, we'll go up. So we might see a break of 3,700. Hopefully they short it, and then we'll bounce. And then this would be the bottom. Let's see. Alright, so I'm going to do a video on EU and AU now, and I'll speak to you soon.